Streamlabs isn't doing that thing lately. I think that got straightened out. I'm like getting nervous about this. This is a big stream for me. I'm threatening to do it for the longest time. I haven't played these games in so long. And yeah, they're not easy. Here's some trivia for you. Captain Falcon is from Port Town, and that's pretty much all we know about him, except that his first name is Douglas, and I'm not sure why we know that. Also has a scar on his face, like right in the middle of his forehead. Which you would only know if you had beaten, like, master difficulty with him in F-Zero X on the N64. Kinda still hoping some more people will file in for this one. Gonna give it an extra minute. How about we let this song cycle through one more time here? It's a good one. F-Zero is still so playable, you know, that game aged really well, actually. You might not think that any Mode 7 racing game did age well, but F-Zero really did. Whenever my brother and I get together, wherever it is, there's a pretty good chance at least one of us is going to end up playing F-Zero. I'm also going to need an extra second here to set up the capture for this. Which I could probably have done in advance, but you know. Wow, I have so many captures. I need to trim some of these up. Give me 1 second. Also, it's quiet again, isn't it? Whatever, it's probably fine. Volume bars look fine, yeah, it's fine. I shall name this capture as Real. There we go. And hey, it's even set to be right at the stream's resolution. So, here's something you may or may not know about me, and I'm sorry if I'm blowing your mind with this, but I kind of like Mega Man and the character Zero. So, I'm not alone. Quick history of Zero. In Mega Man X, he showed up and kicked a butt and then died. And the fans hated that because they liked Zero so much. So in Mega Man X2, they brought him back to life. And then in Mega Man X3, they said, do you guys want to play as Zero? Okay, a little bit. But we're going to put a whole lot of stipulations on that. You can only play as Zero sometimes. And if he dies at any point, you can't use him again, ever. And you can't use him against bosses. You could be Zero, but only a little bit. And then X4 said, okay, look, do you want to be Zero for the whole game or what? And then X5 said, you know what, play as whoever you want, I don't care. So it was right around then that Zero finally reached such an apex of fan popularity that they said, you know what, fuck it. We need to... we need a good new whiz-bang Mega Man to put on this newfangled Game Boy Advance that just came out. Well, here we go. The star of Mega Man on the Game Boy Advance is Zero. He looks different because we gave him to this upstart studio Inti Creates. So the art direction and a lot of other design decisions of the Mega Man Zero game are a lot different from what we're used to. And in fact, still to this day, Mega Man Zero did some things that no other Mega Man game did, either for better or worse. But in any case, yeah. The year is 4. The Game Boy Advance is the big new thing, and it's time to play some Mega Mans. Another noteworthy thing about Mega Man Zero before I even get started is that even by Mega Man standards, Mega Man Zero is notoriously hard. So let's hope my muscle memory holds up. We don't want save assist because I'm a hardcore Zero gamer. Casual scenario mode. That's interesting. It must just be like easy mode. I think that's a softly worded easy mode. Yeah, it's also very story driven as compared to the X series, which was you had story, but it sucked. Which means Zero himself as a character becomes much better realized in the Zero games. And I think I identify with him more than I do with the X series Zero, but anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Here's Seal, whose name I'll probably mispronounce as CL out of habit at some point. She is the leader of a resistance movement because the only surviving society on Earth, the gigantic dystopian city of Neo Arcadia, is basically running a genocide campaign against Reploids. Ciel is human. Yeah, see, I already did it. You're probably just gonna have to get used to that. But she likes the Reploids a lot, so she's trying to help them, but it's not going well for them. Also, notice that those guys bled when they died. You will not be seeing too much more of that because it got censored out in the English releases, but in the original Japanese versions of the Mega Man Zero games, the enemies spray blood when you cut them in half. Gans also says CL. Alright, well, alright, good. At least I won't be bothering him too much with that. So anyway, the Resistance is pretty much on their very last leg, just as we tag in here. CL has come down into these crusty-ass ruins because she heard a rumor that an incredibly kick-ass Reploid is buried here. Also, it's maybe worth noting that this was supposed to continue kind of after the end of X5, whereas you may know from watching my stream, Zero died like hell. We're pretty much pretending X6 didn't happen, but you know what, it barely even matters. A dead end! Gasp. No, I feel a strong energy inside. This must be the place. This is for Cyber Elf. Passy. I don't know why Passy is named Passy, but we'll learn a little bit more about what Cyber Elves are. Okay, leave this to me. Stay back here. I've always liked the basic Resistance soldier look. I like the big goggles and the beret. I'm actually gonna see if... You know what? I like my hard pixels. Yeah, screw that filtering crap. Show me them crusty-ass GBA pixels. That's better. You should go. I'll take care of them. This must be. And some of you may have seen my avatar on Discord as of late. There he is. So, this must be Zero. We found him at last. We have no idea if he'll actually help us or if he'll reactivate in any way at all, but we seem to have found Zero, I guess. Colors! Ah! It's protected. What should I do? Arg! Watch out! By the way, have you noticed these foot soldiers kind of look like someone? Recorder, we have to evacuate now! What? We have no time to argue! Blarg! Milan! Who was named that, I guess. The naming conventions in these games are a little weird. ACL, snap out of it! What? You should use my power, you have no choice! But, Passy, if I do, you'll be... ... Don't worry about me. Remember, everyone's waiting for your safe return. Okay, thank you. No, I should thank you, Seal. Goodbye. Passy, no! Kind of. Oof. Zero lives. Zero has been resurrected. Zero says nothing. And yeah, I will point this out as the series goes on. The only thing I like better than a silent protagonist is a protagonist who can speak, but doesn't. Zero, help me, please. Uh-oh. Okay, let me see if I can futz with my controls a little bit here. Because it has B set to shoot and A set to jump, and I would rather not do that if I have a choice. Oh, we have a lot of wallpapers. Well, let's go with that. I might just have to wear it for now. So, Zero has a buster, but as you can see, it's just like a handheld doodad now. Like I said, the design senses of the Zero series are unique. Okay, there we go. Yep, clearly I remembered that guy would be there. That bodes well. Oh, God. Dash is the L button in this game because Game Boy Advance didn't have, Game Boy Advance only had the two-face button at the side, start and select. And really dash makes more sense to be there on the shoulder button anyway. Note this is on PC, this is on Steam. What? It's a dead end. What should we do? How'd you come in here? Yes! Save the lady! Boom. That worked somehow. Thank you. This place seems to be a prehistoric laboratory. Yes, prehistoric laboratories are a thing that exists at this point in time. We're in 22XX, everything goes. We may be able to find a trans server which we can use to go back to the resistance base. I do love Zero's run cycle. He's very smooth. How nice. This passageway is collapsed in. Shall we go back? Stay back! Zero! No, run! You can't damage this thing with a buster! So here's a fun thing. Yeah, I really feel like I'm probably going to do fine on muscle memory in this game. I played these games a lot. I actually completed 0-3 so well, I completed the game with an S rank the one time. I still bring that up once in a while. Oh. Rats. But then... Huh? Use this, Zero. Who are you? Hurry, you have to save her. Don't waste time. So here's a fact. If you hit seal with this thing, you can harm her. And this will harm your weapon, your mission score. So there is a correct way to do this. I will now set the Z-Saber to my primary weapon and probably never remove it from there. Right, I have to use that button. I'm not used to having more than one shoulder button for my Mega Man Zeros. Wow! New cards obtained. What the fuck is that? Mission complete! Can't believe you were able to destroy a golem. We were right. You are Zero, the legendary Reploid. Zero? Is that my name? I can't remember. Just relax for a moment. You have hibernation sickness. I'm sorry for forcing you to wake up. And thank you for saving me. My name is Ciel. I'm a scientist. Let's go to our base before more enemies arrive. What if I'm not the Zero you were talking about? You proved to me that you were Zero by saving me from the golem. Right, we might get, like, neutered translations for this version, because I know they did that for the collection on the DS. Like, they censored out all kill words and stuff like that. So we'll see if we get the original or softened translations. We are unlocked. The trans server is still active. Stand on the trans server and press pad up, and then you can go back to the resistance base. Let's go. Fun animations. Oop. Sorry, I'm getting used to my new control layout here. I'm not gonna mess with any of these elves. So, cyber elves are like, they're living, they're computer entities. They are data life forms. And as we saw when Passy resurrected Zero earlier, when they use their special cyber elf ability, they die. So you can use these elves and get pretty good benefits from them in most cases, but also, I mean, that elf is dead. And you will be permanently penalized on your mission scores for each elf that you burn up and die and kill. So I won't be doing much of that. In 0-1, I may end up using one to get a sub-tank, because this game is hard as fuck. But beyond that, I probably won't be messing with them. Nice. So here we go. Could have done a little better on time. Did great on enemy and damage taken. Mission, I think up on mission success is where it would be penalized if I'd harmed CL with a saber. Welcome to our resistance base, Zero. This is a shelter for injured Reploids who are suspected of being Mavericks. We have fought so hard to survive. However, we know that the end is coming. That's why we've been looking for you. You are our last hope. Most of us think that Zero is nothing but a fantasy. Apparently, the Mega Man universe does not keep history very well at all. It's only been like 100 years. And I guess the world has just completely forgotten about Zero, except the Resistance. Just found him buried somewhere. However, a few still believe in your existence and have looked for you. You are Zero, the legendary Reploid who fought with X to save the world 100 years ago. X, that name sounds familiar. X, that legendary Reploid is still alive and he's trying to... Yeah, I think we got the dumb translation. No, you know what? I think it said retire in the original translation as well. He's trying to retire all of us. X is trying to retire you? His plans have already begun. Many innocent Reploids are being retired as we speak. We need your help. Our future depends on you. Please help us. No! Okay. Thank you. It's like a dream come true. Now, with your help, I think I can save everyone. I have something I need to ask you. Please talk to me when you're ready. So we get like an in-between segment here. I am an A-ranked dude, so I get to go into CL's room and poke around at her stuff. I think she keeps a cyber elf in here. Yeah. So if you go below A rank, you're not allowed in here. I'm not sure what that says about CL, but anyway, she has like a bed pod, she has a coffee pot. Like a resistance uniform, I guess. So this is a little weird, and I may even consider switching to like the other version, but to use your sub-weapon, whatever your alternate weapon is, you hold the R button and then press B. So this is a bad time to bring... No, it's the only time to bring this up. There's no easy way to break this to you. You may notice that if I... God damn it. Look at my weapons here, there are these little stars down at the bottom. For some reason that I will never understand, this game decided that Zero is so rusty at using his weapons that we have to grind to get skill to use them good. So that's something we're gonna do a little bit here. I'll try to make it as quick as possible. We're just gonna go back and hack a bunch of dudes in half with a saber so we can at least get like the 3-swing combo going. And the rest, you know what, maybe even just the 2. And maybe we won't grind. How about we just see how I do? And we'll go and grind if we need to. Nice to meet you. You saved CL, didn't you? My name is Alouette. CL named me. Jeez. I mean, what can you even say to that? Have you ever heard of a thing called Cyber Elf? A Cyber Elf is an electronic entity that gives some kind of a power. Once they use their powers, they die. I feel sorry for them. Yeah, we got like the dumb softened translation. This dude is cool, but don't get too used to him because I think he's only in this game and the next one, and then he abruptly stops existing without mention. You don't look familiar to me, sir. I see. Zero is your name. And I'll call you Mr. Zero. My name is Dande. It's the same. It's the name CL gave me. So yeah, CL is so tight with this Reploid, with these Reploids, she apparently named half of them. That little girl is important indeed. I used to be called ONB6. Dull name, isn't it? Nice to meet you, ONB6. Here's a fun feature of this game. Zero has like a dash wall jump animation that for some reason is not even used in the ZX games. So like you can tell if you're doing the dash wall jump because he like jumps away from the wall. We need these things. I think we feed them to Cyber Elves. I'm not sure if they have any other use in 01. So, one of the very unusual things that this game did for a Mega Man game is actually that all of the missions take place in one interconnected world. Like, all of this stuff is space where missions happen later. So it's you who saved Dr. CL. Thank you so much. Dr. CL said she wants to ask something. Please help her. Right. I'm assuming those are no good for the ZX collection unless the ROMs are just in some easily reachable state. Yeah, this is the only open world side-scrolling Mega Man. And it's not a decision that they continued to make for 02. Oh, it says I'm sorry, I'm still stuck in prehistoric laboratory. I expect Ollie to have a lot of snarky things to say about Mega Man 0, but I'm still a fan. CL asked me to watch for the enemy's transport train. Alright. Yeah, I'm not gonna go ahead and tell you that all the writing in the Mega Man 0 series makes sense. Alright, so there's Alouette. Go that way. This is Inti Creates, yep. The whole Zero series and the ZX games are all made by Inti Creates. Early Inti Creates. I don't know, like, what else Inti Creates had made before this. Right. Yeah, speaking of which, I noticed that Kana in Blaster Master Zero 2 had very Mega Man Zero styled hands. Like the big wrist guard thing and like the differently colored fingers. That's right, they're the esteemed makers of Galgun. Oh, you are unfamiliar to me. Are you new here? Kick butt so that you become a Reploid like the others. This is old Andrew, I like him. Andrew is neat. He's an old man Reploid. And you might be thinking, what the fuck, an old man robot? Turns out there is a story behind that, and we will learn it at some point. Anybody else in here? I think we fill these places in with more Reploids over the course of the game. I don't know, it's been a while. The colors look a little bit saturated here, but not too bad. That was a Game Boy Advance thing because the original GBA had no backlighting. Apparently Mega Man Zero was Inti Creates' first global game. Alright, well, that was kind of my suspicion. Boy, imagine that. Friggin', like, you're an upstart game studio, and like the first major release game you ever get asked to make is the debut of Mega Man on the Game Boy Advance. No pressure. Wow, are you Zero? I never thought I'd get to meet you. We believe that your Z-Saber has unlimited potential for power-ups. It could also have an effect on other weapons. I believe your Buster can be charged to shoot a powerful energy bullet. Learn more about weapons? Sure. I know you've lost your memory, but you still have skills. You just need to find a way to recover them. Supposedly, your memory has been improving ever since you obtained the Z-Saber. Okay. I mean, that happened like 3 minutes ago. Don't worry, everything you've learned during the battles in your past life will come back in time. The number of skills you've recalled is shown on the turtle trip. I shouldn't have talked to him twice. This is Servo. Servo is neat. He becomes a more major character later on in the series. Who are you? Who cares? Will you do me a favor? I'm too hungry to move. Could you spare me some energy crystals? 250 will do. I don't think I have that many. Hey, give me a break. Yeah, I didn't think so. How many do I have? 116. So probably just one more mission. Alright. You know, like I said, I think I'm actually going to try to skip the grind and see where I end up. Usually I go back to the intro stage and I kill a few things. To at least get the 3-hit combo ready. But I'm just gonna raw dog this first mission and see how it goes. What I want to ask is if you would try and do something that no one has been able to do so far. I want you to destroy the disposal center where they retire our comrades one after another, and I can't read that without thinking of when Phoebe was playing this game. He read that line and said, I'll wreck your disposal center if you know what I'm saying. Anyway. Even while I speak, they may be retiring a Reploid who is wrongly suspected of being a Maverick. To prevent any additional loss of Reploid life, please destroy the enemy facility. Will you accept? Freaking feet. No! Okay. Save data? Sure. Save it to the one that has no data. The disposal center is ahead of you. Please rescue our comrade. Be sure! So our GBA draw distance may be... Alright, yep. Okay, get it back. You gotta soften them up a little bit. Even in our English version that doesn't get the blood spray though, we still get to slice enemies in half with a saber. That's important. Especially against bosses, I will always do everything in my power to bisect every boss when possible. The draw distance is very GBA here, isn't it? Love that dash swing. I've done this so many times. Right, this is the weather dudette. The weather premise. It is sad that it took until Mega Man ZX Advent for them to also add, like, blasted through death sprites for, Buster kills. Yeah, here's a good place to grind your saber skills, actually, against these dudes. Getting a little repped up here. There we go. Now I get the 1-2. Alright. Let's see, when did this game come out at? Actually, when was the... I mean... It's a little weird to remember for me that, like, Pokemon came out in, like, 1998 on the original regular-ass Game Boy. 2001 this came out, okay. I remember being just so wowed by it. Getting my own Game Boy Advance and looking how freaking smooth Zero's saber animation was. Smooth and colorful. No. 2002 says Gans, alright. Damn it. But anyway, as you can see, I heavily favor the saber. Like I said, now that I have the saber, it will probably stay my primary weapon for just about ever. What I use for a secondary weapon I change up, because pretty much all of them have some merit. Alright, that's enough. Through the shutter, you'll reach the disposal center. Okay. Yeah, the Game Boy Color was only barely an upgrade over the original Game Boy in processing power. But yeah, GBA was a huge leap ahead. Like a Super NES in the palm of your hand. I'm Aztec Falcon. Harpooia the Guardian sent me to clean up. Harpooia is probably another name that I'm pronouncing strangely. I think all those pronunciations are pretty ingrained in my head at this point, so if they bother you, sorry. Hey, help, I'm being disposed, help me. You must be some of the garbage. Hee just in time, I'll dispose of both of you together. I think this is... Alright, see... Coming to this guy with no skills may have been a mistake. Yeah, I'm gonna die. Having the charged saber attack is a good thing to have against him. That's not gonna be great for my score. Yeah, I know you're Aztec Falcon. Can't skip this, I guess. This is kind of a time boss. I don't think you fail the fight altogether if you run out of time, but you are fighting to save those guys down there. Ow. He changes his patterns. Like, you expect him to do the thing, and then he doesn't do the thing. I need a grind. I need the saber move. Oh, fuck off. Alright, give me some time. Yeah, we gotta do the grind. Yep, no, I do not accept mission. Goodbye. God damn it. I really wish we did not have to grind because I really like this game, and having to grind skills in a Mega Man game is not a good way to make a good impression on anyone. Like, here's this Mega Man game I really like. You'll love the part where you have to do this thing over and over to learn how to use your sword good. I really don't know why they did that. And they did it in Zero 2 as well. So, I'll just front load that for you. But I remember it being less of a problem there. But after that they didn't. For Zero 3 they got rid of it, so good. Might as well collect some Cyber Rails while we're here. Ow. And it says, looks like modding the Steam release is possible, but that's a nay on restoring blood in translation because the guy who knew where all those memory addresses were has since retired from the ROM hexing. Well, I did say at the start of the stream that, like, a lot of weird decisions were made in Mega Man Zero that were not seen before or since in Mega Man games. Here we go. These guys are pretty good grind. I kind of don't mind because I get to watch Zero's saber animations all day. Even though, like, his straight linear saber in Zero 1 are not sprited the way the artwork shows the sword, which is to say, like, triangular. Another thing they kind of started correcting for Zero 2, and then they went and fixed all the way for Zero 3. I will say, this series, I think, peaked with Zero 3. In fact, Zero 3, I think, is one of the better Mega Man games of any series. Like, that was the one where they really finally got the writing figured out in a way that was, like, compelling. Like, it had some actual character development. And, it came to an interesting end that was not immediately spoiled by ham-fisted foreshadowing. Oops. So, but anyway, still, I enjoy Zero 1 and 2. 3 is the best, 4 was also really good, but it's kind of completely separate. There we go. From the other Zero games, it was kind of like a totally separate story. But... And then, believe it or not, if you can believe this, the Zero series ended. Unlike some other Mega Man time period series where, like, it just kept going past the point where anybody cared. The Zero series actually came to, like, a real ending. And then well, no. ZX is another time period again, so still. ZX is more of a sequel to Zero series than, like, Zero is to X. And the games I like were made since Kent, yeah. The tone of the Zero series is very, very dark. Like, a product of its time, I guess, but, like, the story tones of the Zero series do not fuck around. Like, as I mentioned, I already dropped the word genocide in describing what's going on. Like, Neo Arcadia is, like, the Earth is still fucked up after the space colony crashed into it in X5. And, like, much of it's not inhabitable, but, like, X, seemingly, would champion the building of a big ol', like, utopian city, except now he's gone, like, mad dictator and is, like, wiping out Reploids by the hundreds for some reason. Which brings us the Resistance. The only reason I started talking about how dark the Zero series is because the ZX series is really not. Like, it was a big tonal shift upwards for ZX. ZX had a more, like, cartoony anime feel to it. In ZX, I really prefer Ale over Fent, actually. In Agfent, I really prefer Gray over Ash, but Ale is neat. I like Ale. Soup says after seeing Master Blaster's lore, that's definitely into creates its territory, yeah. Yeah, I remember you were playing, like, I highly recommended ZX, so yeah, you were trying to play that. And I remember that you, like, got so tired of the navigation that you returned the game. And I pointed out that, like, you not only returned, like, right before the final mission, but that you just had to go to one teleporter and go left. But, still. Kansas expressed some interest in streaming ZX at some point, so I might end up leaving that to him. Even though I have practically, like, accidentally have declared dominion over all Mega Mans, but I wouldn't mind leaving that to him. If ZX isn't, like, an especially memorable and important game to him, then yeah, I wouldn't want to take that from him. Because, I mean, it was great for me as well, but there we go. Now we can do this. Which means now I can fight bosses. That is a good move. That will also help a lot against those roller bobs who keep dropping in. This port feels perfect so far. I don't love how the controller is mapped, but that may be something you can futz with on like the main menu. But it seems to be running just fine. And it looks... I think it still looks good, even blown up. And it sounds exactly like I remember, so I have no complaints. As far as I can tell, ZX Collection's fine. Again, since I was planning to do it either way, that's fair. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know, we'll see how I feel after I'm done with the Zero series, because, you know, I'll be on this for a little while. God damn it. The character design I already mentioned is also major shift for the Zero series. Like, everybody was really excited that Zero was finally getting his own game, and then we saw Zero and we're just like, who the fuck is this? But you get used to it. The overall visual style of the game, like the graphical quality of the art direction and the backgrounds and everything kind of goes up over the course of the series. Like, there's a lot of early game studio crust in 01, which is a good part of the flavor and all that, but I still like this Zero. He's cool. Like I said, personality-wise, like, Zero develops much more as a character in the Zero series than he did in the X series. Yeah, here we go. Now we got this. Damn it. I still have to... I keep trying to use my triggers to use my sub-weapon and dash and stuff like that. Also, hello time. Did I say that? I forget. Damn it. Oh, okay. Let's get it together, man. Your score's gotta be terrible. So bad video game. Ah. Ugh. I can charge the buster to 1 level. Without upgrade. Damn it. There we go. But I don't get the good buster shot until I grind that too. Yeah, okay. I really hate those things. They just prey on your bad draw distance. They just come flying right off the edge of your screen. Like you're right up. There we go. You get more upgrades at large later in the Zero series as well. There's only so much you can upgrade yourself in this one. Just thinking of things like deflecting bullets and stuff like that. But that comes in much later in the series. Ollie says they just prey on your bad draw distance. Did you mean every 2D Sonic anything ever? Almost, yeah. Not as big a problem in Mania. Beyond that, yeah, it's sort of an issue. Fucking looking at you, Sonic CD. I'm always looking at Sonic CD for examples on how not to do everything except animated intros. I want that elf. Yep, there we go. Soup says apparently Inti was formed out of Capcom's, so I'm not sure why they split off just for work for them again. Interesting. I guess that would be why they got chosen to make Zero, huh? Like, you guys, you should have a pretty good idea what a Mega Man is if you want to make the Mega Man. Alrighty, now I can charge my saber. Means I can hurt this guy. Okay, that's what he's doing. I thought he was getting ready to shoot. He's like, okay, you know what? I just remembered something. Bosses behave differently if you're A-ranked. Like, every boss has some sort of super special technique move that they only do if you're ranked A. I need to make sure I finish him off with a saber. That's important. Yeah! Boom! Fatality. Thank you. Never expected somebody would come to rescue me. Thank you so much. I'm still in shock. I'll return to our base when I'm able to walk again. You can go back now, I'll be fine. And we get the Thunder Chip. Ollie says it's hard not to give a game bonus points when you can cut bosses into 2 pieces, right? Thank you for your cooperation, Zero. That's the Thunder Chip, I presume. You must get it before you return to the base. Yeah, cutting bosses in half with a saber is something I never did and never will get tired of. I promise you I will do that whenever I'm able. which will we usually. Alright, still A-Wreck. Took a lot of damage, other than that, perfect. Zero, thank you. I never thought I'd see the day when the Reploid Disposal Center was destroyed. Giggity. Innocent Reploids will be safe for a while. Thank you so much, Zero. You are a Zero, the legendary Reploid. I'd like to ask your help again when you have time. That is, if you don't mind doing us favors. Please come and talk to me. I'll be waiting for you. By the way, if you go to the engine room downstairs, you'll find our engineer named Servo. He asked me to give this to you. It's called the Escape Unit. If you use it during a mission, you'll be able to abort that mission and evacuate. That's a unique feature that I forgot Mega Man 01 did. That also goes away later in the series, I believe. But, yeah, not only is all of Mega Man 01 interconnected world for the most part, but also, if you want, like, if I lost to that dude, I could just say, whoops, I guess I failed the mission, and just call it. And the game would just be like, well, I guess everybody in the disposal center died, but thanks for trying. And you can just move on with the game and take a big hit to your, like, mission rank, but that's a thing you can do in this game if you want. The speedrun of this game takes, like, no time at all. You can just quit every mission and be like, oh, I'm the hero, I guess. Remember, mission will be considered a failure if you evacuate, yeah. I'm going to be Thunder Element. That will also affect my charge shot when that becomes available. See, these big Cyber-Rels, they, give you, yeah, these, like, increase maximum health, but again, I don't want to use them if I can help it. That guy just shoots at stuff. Burst key saves you from falling. Okay, there he is. There's a guy we saved. You can tell because he's standing like Beavis. Not really. I don't know. Something about that stance just said, Zero, I want to be a scientist like Zeor when I grow up. Oops, I almost forgot. I heard that a cyber elf who was in Zeor's room is missing. It's said to be a baby elf, so I wonder if it's lost its way home or something? I don't know what that's about, actually. I want to study cyber elves. Zeor is very kind and generous to anyone. I think I should follow her good example. I never felt kindness from others when I was in Neo or Arcadia. Alright. It's kind of worth going around and talking to these dudes. They have personality. Here's the other dudes I saved. The Clampy Claw guys. My intention is to stream all the Zero series, yep. Which will take a while because I'm probably only doing it on Thursdays. Pretty much every day of the week is accounted for at this point. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I went back and got the other friendship medals in Blaster Master 02 earlier, so we will do one more stream of that. There's apparently different endgame content now. And after streaming 2 Blaster Master 0 games, we are going to get one good ending finally, so we'll do that Wednesday. Maybe I'll switch to like XCOM if I have time left over or something. Thank you very much, sir. They say you saved a friend of mine. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I don't know how to thank you, Mr. Zero. Never thought I could meet him again. So, the neat thing about Dande here is, even if your rank goes to hell, and you start getting nicknames like Krusty or Buttcrack, Dande still likes you. Like, he'll be the one to tell you, they're calling you Zero, the fat, stupid dumbass behind your back, sir, but I still like you. Cool, Dande. That's nice. Yeah, I don't expect that to be the whole stream. Like I said, maybe, I really need to get back on XCOM at some point before I completely forget how to play the game, so maybe Wednesday I'll start with, Blaster Master and switch gears. Are you the Reploid known as Zero, sir? Thank you for saving Dr. CL. By the way, know how to use a trans server? No, what's that? Yeah, I know. It's also where you equip your cyber elves, I believe. Old Andrew. You're a new boy, aren't you? You are kicking butt so as to... Are you kicking butt so as to become like the other Reploids? Listen, son. Are you interested in what I have to say? Absolutely, old Andrew. What's going on, man? You are interested in my story. Thanks for saying that. I may not look it, but I used to be a handsome Reploid. I was very popular with the ladies. It was the night of the full moon when it happened. I was carrying containers in a warehouse at the harbor when I heard a song drifting over the night air. I looked up to find a beautiful lady with long hair singing in front of the crowd that had gathered at the harbor. I was amazed to find that I was deeply moved by her song, even though my body and mind are made of machines. After spending time together and talking, we fell in love and eventually started living together. Are you tired of listening to my story? No, I'm still here, man. Oh good, you do want to listen. I told you up to the time we began to live together, didn't I? Now, continue. As time went by, she grew older and older, while I remained the same. She came to resent how she looked and began avoiding me, so I asked Zeor to modify me to be what I am now, so that we could be together. She has long since passed away, but the memory of her will never be erased from my memory chip. Thank you for indulging me with your company and listening to my story. Keep this as a token of my gratitude. So now you know, he is old because he asked to be old because he was married to a lady. Well, I don't know if they were married. I don't know what the law says about that. But there you go. Yeah, you were wondering how a Reploid can be old? Now you know. I got an achievement for listening to that story. Patience is a virtue. Nobody's here yet. I thought Ollie might like that story. Ollie always appreciates a nice story. So, I don't remember when Servo gives you the other thingy. He gives you a couple thingies. Still can't believe you are who CL says you are. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. My name is Servo. As you can see, I'm a Reploid engineer. CL and I have been researching and conducting experiments on entities called cyber elves that were kind enough to spare me an engine room, which I modified to be my laboratory. If I only had enough time and data, I could develop some weapons for you. I'm too busy to ask old Andrew to tell me about old times, but you should try to keep him company and listen to what he has to say. It's helpful and informative to spend time with the aged. Ollie says this game is weirdly nailing it for me so far. Cool. I'm kind of happy about that. I don't know why. This gave me getting the Ollie seal of approval so far kind of weirdly means a lot to me. All right, hang on a sec. Needed a drink. Yeah, sure. Have some crystals. Thank you so much. I don't really have anything to give you in return. Sorry. Thank you for the crystals. See, now I'm in tip-top shape. Time to work. This guy, if I remember, is kind of a cynic. But also don't get too used to him, because, I don't know, there's a character in Zero 2 who looks wildly different but has a similar name. So I don't know if that guy turned into the other completely different character, or if he just went away and got replaced by a similarly named Rotund Reploid. I don't really know. But in any case, process my data. Alright then. So yeah, instead of even like a regular old, like, select the Maverick and go to place, I mean, we just have, here are the missions that we have for you right now. Destroy trade. We want to destroy the enemy transport train in order to disrupt their supply. Based on the report from our scout unit, the enemy train is at the old platform loading cargo. Old platform loading cargo. Time to attack is now. Please help us destroy that train. Kill the train. What? The train's down there, Zero. Go get the train, Morty. Is there a thing here? There's a thing here. Pretty sure. I remember the thing. I don't think there's a thing here, though. Nope. Only death that way. Don't go. So, I get electric saber smash now. Which doesn't make a huge difference. Ow. Except against some bosses. You know what I just thought of? If I just do the rest of the stream as I am, I can do my grinding between streams. And then I can have all the good shoots in it. All you had to do was murder the damn train, Zero. I remember the triple rod being a good way to hack these wires down. Those roller guys are especially satisfying to hack down because you can see their bottom half with the wheel on it putts ahead a little bit before it falls over and dies. Yeah, I remember like a lot of the secret stuff. I don't think I ever did find 100% of all the elves in this game, but... Oh, you again. I remember you. Alright. I think the mini bosses like this are guaranteed to drop an elf after you whack them the first time. There we go. It's all good. Yeah, my anxiety about coming back to this is kind of melting away. I've taken a little bit of abuse, but overall, I think my memory of the game is holding up pretty well. Being held within the transport train is a cyber elf that was stolen from our base. If it is taken to their base, they will abuse its power. Rescue it, please. Okay. Oh, train move. Cool music. Train seems to have left. Please rescue the abducted cyber elf. I'm counting on you, Zero. Okay, I've gotta hurry. Whoa, those guys take 3 hits. Why, yada. Don't fall down, you'll die. Ow. Yeah. Okay. Damn it. Yeah, okay. I think this guy is weak against electric. Fucking freaky thing. Engine chamber. Be careful, Zero. This boss. Okay. Don't fail me now, muscle memory. Also, you notice this guy has more than 1 health bar. Get ready, get used to that. Pretty much every boss for the whole rest of the game does. You can't saber bisect that guy, so I'll just kill him. Most of the timers in this game are for optional good ranks, yes. Thank you, Zero. The mission was a success because of you. I really appreciate your help. We did it! Killed the train! We're still the warrior! 93, not bad. Thanks to you, the abducted cyber elf has been saved. The enemy's supply route's been cut off. Thank you very much, Zero. We owe all of this to you. The cyber elf you rescued is only a child, but she is a unique cyber elf and will learn an awesome ability when she grows up. Raise her with love and care. Right, so... some of these cyber elves, yeah, like these big ones. By the way, great translation there. I help in the damage zone. I think what that means is it allows you to survive spikes. But yeah, some of these guys you have to feed with cyber crystals to like level up to mature forms before you can use them. But again, I don't think we'll be doing that. If I use any cyber elf, it will be for a sub-tank. But I may or may not be able to get through without even that. I just like to talk to the guys between missions. Sometimes they have fun things to say, and sometimes you get stuff, so... you feel reassured with a replicant like you, Zero. Wonder if this place is safe. I wish you'd stay and help us if this place is attacked. Foreshadowing here? No, of course not. That could never happen. You gotten used to the life here? Do the life here. Everyone here is so friendly. I think it's easier to get along with us, sir. If you have time, why don't you talk to them? Some replicants are a little eccentric, but everyone's honest at heart. I like Dende. He's neat. He's a good guy. Yep. Saber. Yeah. Yeah, Saber. Yeah. Hi, Andrew. I don't think he has any more story. I think he just has one long story for you per game. I don't think we have to sit through all that again. Welcome, son. You must have a lot of time on your hands. Will you spare some time? Oh, okay. I could be wrong. It may be because I'm A-ranked. He tells more stories to me. I don't remember. Okay, sure. I'll tell you the story of when I was a sailor. The first ship I was assigned to was a huge, gorgeous yellow vessel. Storms and high winds tossed me into the ocean many times during my freshman days. Every time I fell in, I'd caused the crew a lot of trouble. I can't remember how many times I thought I should quit the job and go back home. Do you wish to leave now? No. Okay, let me continue. Time passed and I became a full-fledged sailor. I traveled all over the world and got to meet lots of people and experienced emotional farewells. Just as many farewells for that as there are hellos. Okay. Funny, I know that some of the bosses were very demanding, yet I only have fond memories of them now. Once peace is restored, I'd like to go see the ocean again. Thank you for sharing your time. As a token of my gratitude, I'll spare some energy crystal. Thank you. We like Andrew. He's cool. Andrew does stick around. He doesn't get the mysterious disappearance treatment. I'm not sure if he's in 04, actually, but... 4 is a little weird. Right, I don't know why I'm checking this. I know I haven't saved any other Reploids yet. I gotta go see Servo, though. He might have something cool for me. Oh yeah, the slash while moving move is also a new for Zero for this game. I know they call me excess baggage behind my back. I didn't ask to be created like this. We are Reploids, we can't go on diets, you know. That's true, why would somebody build a Reploid of that shape? As you may know, the more you use a particular weapon, the more your skill will go up. Alright, so you don't have a thing for us. For me. Mus? For we. Who's stealing your ideas? Whatever. Neat background. Yeah, this game has just enough of that old GBA crust to it. It's like just a fragrance. So I don't have anybody who does the... Yeah, you can't feed these guys. Yeah, whenever I find one that does a sub-tank thing, I'll go ahead and feed that one. Just in case. I don't need to do anything here now. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep going through the game. We're only an hour in. Awesome. We can get a pretty good way into 0-1 here, I think. Probably more than one stream. Almost certainly more than one stream. But, we'll get a pretty good way in. Oh, wrong way. Bye. Yeah, so the disposal center, that first mission we did, now, like, if I go back up to the surface, I can just go that way. Like, I can just go this way and end up in the mission, basically. Also, that ladder back there leads down to the train platform where I was. Yeah, so... if I wanted to grind stuff here, I can do that. But I don't. I just kinda wanted to show that to you. Ooh. Ow. Again, only Mega Man 01 did that. It went back to Pocket Dimensions again for 02. Which I think is preferable to be honest, but still, it was a novel thing that they tried out for this game. Just trying it on. As you save my data. I got some energy crystals from the old man Andrew. Find shuttle. Uh-oh. Hang on a sec. Okay. Hang on. Oh yeah, ZX also did the open world thing. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. As a matter of fact, they leaned into that, like, much heavier than this game did. But we get ahead of ourselves. Some of the abducted Reploids seem to have hijacked an enemy transport plane and have now escaped. But the plane disappeared over the desert. They might have crash-landed in the desert, and so we sent our scouts to look for them. However, our scouts are having difficulties due to the hordes of hostile enemies in the area. I'm sorry, but will you go and help? Go and help their rescue? Hold on. I don't have the fire chip, do I? Let me try to remember, because these descriptions aren't helpful. Occupy factory, I think, is where you get the fire chip. Retrieve data. I don't remember where retrieve data is. Let's go to the factory. Unfortunately, our stock of energy is running out. We could use the abandoned factory, we could generate the energy, but the boss guarding the factory is too strong for us to gain control of it. Oh yeah, here's some great level design coming up. I think this game's gonna lose some ollie points, depending on how this mission goes. Ah, this music. Ooh. By the way, look at the reach of that third swing. Like, it actually does hit behind you. Any of that saber, like, that is green sprite, counts for hitting stuff. You can get real creative with saber moves like that. I don't know, even just the graphical style of those things I was just walking on was so uniquely Game Boy Advance in a way I can't quite quantify. Or qualify, as it were. Not, there's a difference. What, damn. I think this is one of those cases where I want to try to race the elevator, yeah. Okay, don't go down. This part. This bit right here. If you guessed it, whatever is below me is instant death, you are right. Yes, and like, you gotta kind of really finesse your camera view if you want to see what you can or can't land on. Balls. And then that happens. I have 6 lives. Yeah, that shit. See, and at this point, I really don't necessarily need to go climbing around to the ceiling up there. So maybe I'll just try to get through the mission this time. It's not like there could be anything up there that I can't just get between missions, so rather than try to show off, I'm just gonna try to get through it. When I first ran the ZX collection, it opened in like a colossal window, like way bigger than my primary monitor. It was just like, you're gonna scale like a 50 by 60 screen up to this size, but it was just like a weird thing. It was actually trying to display it this size, but then I had to like actually push the button on the menus and make it do that. That's an interesting perspective. In a way, spikes can be less bullshit than bottomless pits, huh? Because at least they're more, like, evident. Don't get hurt by the zappy. Yeah, so, I mean, to get through this, you just have to hop across on these things, but... And you can be reasonably sure that there's going to be something to land on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I've done it. Okay, safe. There's just stuff up there, I believe, as well, but let's just skip it for now. We'll also be back here again for a later mission anyway, so... For now, don't worry about it. That saber, the charge saber swing is such a good move. Good hit, good wide hitbox. God damn it. Yep, I remember the secret thing here too. Nope, there's nothing you can do to point your camera down either. But it always says, subtracted point, but not as bad as disappearing block levels. Fair. Picking up a massive energy reading. It must be the boss! Stay alert, Zero. This is another boss that you can't cut in half, so I don't need to worry about that. That Gatling gun itself might actually be the A-rank hard mode move. Okay. I think you can... Yeah, I don't remember it doing that. And I'm having a balls of a time avoiding it. There we go, getting figured out. Like, you can knock the heads off this thing. It replaces them if a missing one rotates to the top, I believe. Fuck sticks. Yay. Okay. Yeah, another helpful quality of the Saber Splash Charge attack is that, like, it remains on screen for a pretty good number of frames. Like, it's a good area of effect that you can use to cheese. You can try to time it when, like, the enemy's invulnerability wears off, which I was kind of doing there. Zero, we've secured all the floors. Our mission is complete. Good work, Zero. Thank you. Gotta love that sound-only thumbnail. That was a thing that Zero did. Don't forget to get the flame chip before you come back to the base. Oop. And I wanted this before I go to the desert mission. Not my best mission. Except nice, etc. Yeah, bad time, bad damage. And I lost a few points for the one continue. But still ranked A. Thanks to you, we've gained control of the factory. Now we can live without the fear of retirement. No, thank you very much. It's like our dream has come true. We feared that we were doomed. Alright. Save data. Now I have fire. It acts like electricity. It acts like a flame. I'm gonna use, actually, I just remembered something important. Hold on, can I? Well, what do you know? I actually can just go ahead and use all of my face buttons here in this modified Mega Man Zero. Nice. Oh, that's much better. Okay. Good, good, good. But that's not even what I was trying to look for. I was looking for... I'm not seeing it. It might not even be able to in this. It might be... I was trying to disable double tap direction to dash, because I do not like that feature and I turn it off whenever I can, but maybe Zero doesn't give you that option. But yeah, as for your sub-weapon, you can also change it to just use... Like, you could just tap the right shoulder button to fire your sub-weapon, which the ZX game does by default, but also changes, like, the charge behavior, so you can charge your saber and your buster independently. But here again, we get far ahead of ourselves. Hey, we have a Winky. There we go, there's our sub-tank elf, so I'm gonna go ahead and feed this elf, just in case I need to use her later. Oh great, now I got all used to using the other buttons, alright. You feel reassured with, yep. A lot of this will be repeated. I'd like to be a useful Reploid. Can you think of something I could do, sir? I don't know, man. I'm not a commander. I'm just the warrior, skadoosh! You can get a free crystals pickup in here every time, whenever. Also, if you hold down while you're in midair, you can keep the saber out, which is not often useful, but once in a while. Because says we can live without the horrible weight of the IRA. Nobody wants to retire. Actually, in a weird way, it would make sense if, like, a race of robots would fear not doing things. Obviously not what they mean here, but... As you may know, damn it, Servo, you're killing me, man. You're supposed to have other weapons for me. Oh well, that's fine. I still like you. Go. Door. Yeah. I'm enjoying myself. This has always come good to come back to. Oops, I forgot I was going to feed the elf. So if I recall, the other Jesus, Zero. The other upgrades you get for the saber. Yeah, so one is faster charge attack. One is spin like a motherfucker while in midair. And I believe the last one is spin like a motherfucker while you're on the ground. You actually, like, roll forwards with the saber, which is usually not advisable to do because it doesn't do enough damage to kill anything you're rolling through. So you just run into him like an asshole. Feed elf. go. I have all of my crystals. Freaking Rick and Morty. I still haven't seen all of season 4. I need to get on that somehow. Hulu though. So this is weird because like I've set what X to shoot and A to jump, but like the menus still use A to cancel and B to confirm. It's kind of goofy. Begin mission. Now I can find shuttle because I have fire. Some of the abducted Reploids seem to have hijacked an enemy transport plane and have escaped, but it disappeared over the desert. Go look for them. I accept. Right, these guys. Okay. Full of just mechanoid wildlife. And this tank. I wonder what this is. I guess we'll never know. This is a pretty good place for our saber antics. Whoops. Nice. Ah, crap. Yeah, I thought there was a cyber elf up there. Whatever, I can get it later. If I even need to. I kind of don't, really. Aw. Damn it. It's always so satisfying to just lop their heads off, though. Not quite there yet. The saber is so versatile. By and large, like, I don't know, the different elements don't really matter much. Pretty much all of them have the effect of stun enemy and maybe a little extra damage. My name is Anubis III. I work for Fafnir, one of the 4 Guardians. I'm the King of Destruction and the ruler of the desert. The Reploids you are looking for are deep in the desert. If you wish to rescue them, you need to defeat me first. On guard, old-timer. So yeah, well, there is an Anubis Reploid now, because why not? He's pretty cool. And flammable. And he summoned zombies. Yeah, I remember how to fight this guy. You die, motherfucker! Fatality. That was a satisfying one, too. Good angle on that one. Health kit. Oh, yeah, I forgot. You actually have to escort this hoser. Hey, you alright? I'm alright. You came to rescue me. Thank you very much. Can you walk? F noopsies. Yes. I'll help you get back to the base. Follow me. Thank goodness, there is a survivor. Thank you, Zero. I'll have a medic standing by. Will you take him to the entry point? Alright. And you can't leave this guy behind. If he falls off screen, you lose him. And of course, your movement speed is much higher than his. I think you actually do raise your, like, charge speed upgrade thing a little bit faster if you hit with the charged attack instead of the regular slash. But the difference, I think, is pretty negligible. I'm just jumping to spot the birds. Nope. 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 I still got it. Oh. Yeah, this game was pretty notoriously hard for a Mega Man. Oh dear. See, this is where I kind of really wish I had the triple rod. Ah! Don't stand on that. Don't stand on that either. Taking all these hits in your stead. Ah. So benevolent. I really am Zero, the legendary Reploid. I think Zeor just really likes that word. I think she's just like a total nerd. I mean, she's a scientist, so of course, but you know. I like the spriting on that second slash in particular. It has just a good wide reach to it, too. Yes. No, no, no. No. Yeah, you know, obviously, the Zero having his own game, the Saber needed to feel good, and they really nailed that. Like, the Saber honestly feels a lot better than this than it did in, I would say, even X4 and X5. Because X4's idea of, this, like, it hits a whole bunch of times at once while it's on screen. Like, in this game, I mean, you swing the Saber and it's just like one good hit. The way they handle the Saber in these games, at large, is really good. Thank goodness I'm saved. Zero has brought back a survivor. Hurry and take him to the medic. Save. I'm glad we could save him. Thank you, Zero. Speedster. Speedrun time, yeah. Another comrade has been saved thanks to you. According to his report, enemies are planning to conduct a large-scale attack on the Resistance base. If that happens, we'll need your help again. We appreciate your continued support, Zero. Do I get another weapon now? Because I don't usually use the Buster much. Wait a minute. Is there like a just talk to CL option? Yeah, just talk. Oh no, she just reports the last thing she said. Reports, repeats. Repoops. Elevators are for wussies. Yeah, these guys don't currently have anything interesting to say. Get my free energy. I could not remap the dash and sub-weapon buttons to the triggers instead of the shoulder, just LB and RB, which is unfortunate because the trigger buttons on this controller feel really good. I'm using the regular plug-in SN30 Pro, where the triggers are just binary. They just click in, they feel really satisfying. They improved my Hollow Knight game a lot. Just trying to find the guy what we rescued. Pretty much everybody you save in these missions does gain a permanent spot in the base, I'm pretty sure. Alright, let's hope Servo has a thing for me. That would be nice. What you got, man? God damn it, Servo. I'm 3 missions in, man. Killing me, man. Develop faster. Yeah, here he is. I guess they couldn't do much for his arm. Never thought I would come back alive. Thank you, Zero. Don't know what would have happened to me. Happened. Good. Did it. You can even see, like, the saber flicker a little bit if you watch carefully. Pretty nice. Wait. I'm already wondering what Ollie would think of Mega Man ZX. Still not enough. It's fine. I don't know why I wonder so much about that, I just do. Because it has a much, like, I mean, this was after 4 Zero series games, so Intercreate's pretty much had their stuff figured out. Has a pretty clean looking sound to it. But like I said, also like a completely different mood, like a totally different tone in the Zero series. Or in fact, any other Mega Man. Retrieve data. You remember the place in which we met? Oh yeah. That's where this one is. We had no choice but to escape then, but my research tells me that there are some very important information for you there. Okay. The enemies must be trying to obtain it before you do. Go and retrieve it before it's too late. We're picking up several energy readings from enemies. They must be looking for the remaining data too. Be careful, Zero. Back at the prehistoric laboratory. Right, I think this one unlocks the triple rod. I think. Which is just a different melee weapon, so not like the best unlock. You can't kill these. I believe you can't stun them with elements. Yeah. Even the, like, attack bouncing off of things sound in this game is weirdly satisfying to me. Okay. No problem. Oh. I remember the boss here. He's interesting. Whoa! No, you don't. Okay. I was just about to say, I don't believe in this game you get any way to reflect bullets, but then I'm remembering, of course you do, stupid. Hopefully we'll get to see that soon, because I would very much like to have that. There's a massive energy reading ahead. Stay alert. Short level. I should really have charged my stuff before coming in here. My name is Maha Ganesh Sheriff, I guess. I'm in charge of data processing and handling information. All of the information you had has been stored in the server. All of the information you had has been stored in the server in my body. Okay, all the information you had has been stored in the server in my... Okay, I got it. You want it back, you'll have to destroy me and download it from my memory. Will you do it? He gets the fucking E-Honda 1000-hand slap, because why not? Okay, there's his special A-rank move. I wondered what it was. Saber Splash reaches just high enough to hit his big fat head. No, crap. Yeah. Damn it. You gotta be really particular about jumping over that roller bob move, too. Yo, screw. Got him. Wasn't pretty, but I got it. The self-destruct system has been activated, Zero. Why is there a self-destruct system? You have to evacuate now. Time bomb set. Ah! Danger. Oh, we do get this great danger music, at least. Oh, crap. I don't think I had to fight anything along the way. Just the doors. Hey, nice. Yeah, look at that charge speed. Zero! Thank goodness. All he says, these doors are not good safety measures. Seriously. You are alive. I'm sorry we got you involved in this. What? I await your return to the resistance base. Yeah, that's the stuff. I don't even really care about the rest of the saber moves. I have the important ones. Although I will care about... Matter of fact, I may have to care about that pretty soon. Speedster. We have analyzed the data you retrieved, but most of the data is damaged and useless. The good news is that we can restore the information on your weapon. That's right. I think this weapon specifically unlocks the triple rod. And then I think you just do some missions and that unlocks the shield boomerang. If you want to know about it, ask our engineer named Servo. I'm sorry that the mission ended poorly, but we hope you will continue to help us. Oh, snapping assholes! A giant enemy mechanoid is approaching our base. Yeah, this would be a great time to have that other move, but oh well. If we don't do something, it will destroy our base in no time. Everyone, guard the front of our base at all costs. Zero, go around and attack it from the rear. That should buy us some time. Your only hope. Good luck, Zero. Danger. Giant mechanoid must be up ahead of you. Stay sharp, Zero. I remember this guy. Thud. Oh, god damn it. I had like a Blaster Master joke in my head a second ago, but I failed to remember whatever. There must be a weak point, even for a giant mechanoid. Good luck. It's the drill dozer. Not the good drill dozer. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, watch out for the spikes too, by the way. See, if I had the spinny aroundy move, I could really rack up some damage on this thing. I think at this point, yeah, I just gotta... So there's some hidden stuff in this area that, stupidly, you can't reach unless you allow this guy to destroy some more of the level. That word again, level. Oh no, I don't have the triple rod. I would usually use the triple rod to attack that last point. But, nope, that works. Do I have to attack the front now? Nope, I got it. Then I had muted my mic because a bunch of people drove down the street saying beep beep honk for some reason. Well, that went a little too well. Good work, Zero. Our base is safe, thanks to you. We really appreciate your effort, Zero. Better. Did that without a triple rod. 84. Well, because I didn't kill anything else? I don't think that's even true. Well, it's better than a 69, kind of. If you didn't stop the giant mechanoid, the resistance base would have become a sitting duck. Thank you, Zero. With your cooperation, maybe peace will be restored. We did it. So now we can go get at least one new weapon. Yeah, I don't think it was going to become a sitting duck so much as is sitting duck. Zero, it came just in time. Look at this. It's a weapon called the triple rod. You can attack in any of the 8 directions. It requires some technique, but I'm sure they'll be able to handle it. So the triple rod is pretty good. It's not very good right now, but at least it has fun animations. And it upgrades to extend way out if you attack a few times in a row. It gets a pretty good reach. It's not bad. Its charge attack is really good, but of course you gotta grind with it in order to use it. Want to perform an attack with the... just remembered it. Yep, well, I know, man. I may actually take a little time to grind this. But again, I really wish I didn't have to. That's like the one big ass-wagging bad thing about Mega Man Zero 1 and 2 is the weapon grind. I really don't know why they did that. That bent. Oh yeah, it's also good falling down. See, this is why I wish I had this for that bulldozer fight, because for that last thing on the top, I could just stab, 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 Zelda 2 style. But I may do, because I'm a badass. I don't think anybody else here has anything interesting to say. We'll talk to Dante again, see if he has anything. Still, good spriting on these moves. Oops. No? Still nothing? Alright. Get my free energy at least. So yeah, I guess Reploids at this point eat these energy crystals for sustenance. Reploids over the course of like the history of like the X series up through the ZX series keep becoming more and more human-like, to the point where in like ZX Advent there's very little real distinction between humans and Reploids. Everything changed when I met Zeor. Zeor told me once that I'm like a security blanket, that she can feel relaxed no matter what as long as I'm by her side. That's why I made up my mind to stay with Zeor forever. Aw. This doll is a present from Zeor. She made it for me. Sorry, the true Zeor is the only human in space. Are you surprised? I mean, it's pretty freaking cute. Like, I don't even normally like, you know, the token little girl character, but how can you not like Alouette? Alright, so, yeah, I'm gonna take a little time to grind the triple rod because, again, the charge attack is quite good. It's good to have to combo into the Z-Saber. Like, you can put together like a 7-hit combo if you do it right. I remember absolutely kicking X's shit in one time. Spoiler, sorry. I mean, kind of a spoiler. We've already been over that X is seemingly up to bad stuff. It's a little weird to have the two melees equipped at the same time, I guess, but... So yeah, triple rod, it's just, whoa, okay. It's just generally solid. I think if I hang around here long enough, that elf will float down here. So I guess this works out. Go ahead and get comfortable, we'll just stab this column for a while. Zeor's like the lead person in Resistance, I think the Resistance only exists because of her. There we go, we've already got 2. Very good, very good. Still waiting to see if that elf wafts down here. If not, I'll have to jump for it again, no big. Yeah, I remember this grind at least not being that bad. I'm still just kind of taking this opportunity to admire the spriting on Zero. Like, they really did just a great job on all of his animations. His hair is maybe a little bit too animated, like it's a little weird that it flips up on the back when he exhales, like it watches. Besides that, really good. I wonder if there's... Probably not. Yeah, see, there we go, we got the third dude already. Now we just need to get the charge and we're good to go. Ow. Stop. Soup says, leveling up weapons is one of those things that always sounds good in theory. I'm kind of that way with, like, unlocks in games in general. Like, it got written at some point that every game needs to have, like, unlockables now. And sometimes I just get unlock fatigue, you know what I mean? Like, if it's a fighting game or, like, even sometimes a racing game or something, I'm just like, I kind of just want everything. I just want to sandbox this stuff. I don't want, like, a 90-hour campaign mode to use the car I want. I get, like, tired of gigantic unlock tiers in every single game. I don't think this counts for anything. I think it only works if you damage stuff. I'm gonna see if I can get that elf. Oh, it went back into the... That is interesting. I may not remember what you do about that. Did anyone talk about Wreckfest on stream? Probably, yeah. I reached a point where campaign mode was, like, literally the only things were available to me were the frickin' demolition derbies. The more figure-8 races of 3 heats of the same event. And, like, special event like couch or lawnmower races where you have to win, even though every vehicle on the field is absolutely identical when you start in the middle of the field. So I'm just like, there is no good game design to be found anywhere here. I'm wondering if these guys have even heard of video games. Kent says, I kind of get that regarding stuff like DRG's weapons. You just kind of want the baseline toys to try. Yeah, Deep Rock Atlantis grind is at least not that bad. I do remember there's some amount of crunch for credits and materials, but, like, relatively speaking, you're not going to be on that for, like, terribly long. As a matter of fact, a lot of people consider it an issue that you run out of unlocks as early as you do. Like, even at my point, I'm not even at level 100 yet, and I have pretty much everything I need in terms of unlocks. I even have all the overclocks that I had an eye specifically on. So most of the unlocks that I would get from here on out are pretty much just for funsies. But I sort of don't mind that, because, I mean, like I said, sometimes I get fatigued having to unlock shit all the time. Deep Rock Galactic isn't like Warframe, where, like, its whole mission statement is to keep a carrot dangling in front of you for the rest of your life. And, the unlocks in Deep Rock Galactic all feel worth it, too. Like, that's a good thing about Deep Rock Galactic. Though I will say, I don't know, it's important not to think of the unlocked weapons as upgrades in most cases. Like, really, they're all kind of situational side grades. Like, you would think it would be really useful for for the drill dozer to have the freeze thrower. But, like, it's really an apples and oranges thing. Like, the freeze thrower is really good against single targets, like Praetorians, awesome. But against common rabble enemies, it's nowhere near as good as the flamethrower. Like, it's more fiddly and not as damaging. Yeah, so we got the triple rod beam. And that is a real good move. Works on bosses, works on these clowns. Really just chops them completely the hell up. Like, not only lops them in half, but sends the parts just hither and yon. Triple rod is pretty good. I guess I'm not worrying about that Cyber Elf right now. Oh yeah, here's how you get this guy. Yeah. Alright, hang on. There we go. So that wasn't too bad of a grind. Got that out of the way. Now I can use triple rod good. I still don't have the, like, full charge Buster shot unlocked yet either, but I probably just won't do that. I don't really use the Buster that much. Because I'm Zero, damn it. Next floor, I didn't even have a Buster. It was in the shop. So, I know he's not going to have the other thing for me. I probably have to do another mission, but I'm just going to talk to Servo again. Just 'cause... Nope, still nothing new. Alright, man. Maybe next time. I believe I have to hop up and use the restroom real quick. That Gunner's Burst Pistol in particular is very much a side grade to the revolver. Like, honestly, they're even useful in more or less the same cases. It's kind of strictly a matter of preference. Although, yeah, as Monkey and I observed, there is a late upgrade that where if all 3 shots hit the same target, it's like a guaranteed stun. That is really good. Alright, yep, I'm going to hop up and use the restroom, and then we'll actually do another mission here. Appreciate you guys coming by to watch my Mega Man Zero stream. I'm having fun. Be right back. Hello, I'm back. I feel better. So where were we? Right, we had ourselves a saber and a triple rod, so we can just do melees all over the damn place. All willy-nilly. Hi. Let's do a mission. Rescue Coldbore, who has a real cool name. One of our comrades named Coldbore said he was very sorry that we couldn't help but rely on you. He seems to have found a way into their base through the subway area, but we lost contact with the Coldbore team. I just hope that he's alright. If you don't mind, will you go and look for him? Yes. Oh crap, I made a mistake. Oh well, we'll see how I do. Enemy activities are increasing in intensity. Coldbore's unit may have been discovered and taken hostage. Good luck, Zero. There is another element that I should have. There is something down there, isn't there? Nope. Alright, good. Shift gears. Zero fell down and died. The end. Oops. Let's see if I can remember where that other elemental chip is. Find hidden base, I think was it. We have received information that there is a hidden base of the enemy somewhere in the desert, and that they are holding reploys in it. Should have brought Zero a life alert. We have been trying to locate it, but if there is a hidden base, and if replies are being held there, we must save them as soon as possible. Will you find where the hidden base is? They must be somewhere in the desert. Okay. Counting on you, Zero. You got it. Cut the crap, woman. We got people dying in Sector 13. Damn. That's another Phoebe joke. Whoa! Forgot about you. I wonder if I found the secret base. Boy, how's that for some GBA visuals for you? I thought there was... I thought there was another secret something going on here. Did I make that up? I might have made that up. No, this must be what I was thinking of. There's a trap! Wait for a minute, I'll disarm it. Okay, you can proceed. Beware the spike. Yeah, see, sometimes the triple rod is really good for reaching places that the saber comes up just short of. And stuff like that. It's the least interesting of the rod weapons that you get throughout the Zero series. I'm the biggest fan of the one that you get in the second Zero game. But here again, getting ahead of ourselves. Nice. I saw that coming, but I couldn't cancel the slash. There we go. Oh, I think there's something way out here. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, there's stuff. See how, like, huge pixely and, like, stretched and zoomed like that smoke effect is when he does that? The blood spray effect is a lot like that. Chain rod, yes. That's what I was talking about. This is the hidden base. Wait for a minute, and I'll unlock the door for you. It's unlocked. Stay alert. So, I don't fully remember what we're doing here. I think, yeah, we're in, like, save the hostages. Thank you for saving me. There are 6 more replays being held in this base. We're going to hijack a shuttle in the hangar and escape after you save everyone. Please save the others. I'll head for the hangar and wait for you. Okay, bye. I like the lady resistance soldier design. I like her design in particular. I don't know why. It's just very kind of cute. Please also rescue the others. Rod. Wonder where this door leads to. I can't open it now because it's too well protected. Oh no, I forgot these guys can spot you. And it spawns these clowns. Right. Thank you. You're welcome. Have a good one. See you later. I love you. Bye-bye. Omni says, pretty sure Zeor just appreciates modeling of ladies that isn't kapow lady. You're not wrong. I think that's one of the reasons I appreciate that design so much. And there's this guy. You know what? You get released too. To death! Poke, stab, mangle. Uh-oh. I'm under arrest for stream crimes. I said I like the anime girl. Now the police are here. Zoom says finally. Ken says we saw you ogling later. Hey, that's different, I think. I'm free, thank you. Yeah. I release you to hell. Yeah, I guess, like, all it raises an interesting point. Like, it's interesting that they could protect the cells with lasers and then just don't. One more prisoner to go. Question, how do you know that? You've been, like, sealed way over here in Vault 45, like a million miles away from anybody else here. Okay, bye. Strangely omniscient female prisoner. Her hair's the wrong color. Yeah, I noticed that as well. I only, like, just now noticed that for some reason. Shh. Nobody knows I'm here. Top secret. You rescued all the others? Wonderful. See, she pretends she doesn't know. I think I like her braid. That's what I like so much about her. And the beret, I don't know. It's just a fun design. Okay, bye. Her hair's the right color. Yes, she's the true female resistance soldier. Yep, you too. I gotta kill enemies to get the good score after all. Soup says lasers are expensive on the power bill, special occasion only. You know what? I think that's scans. I think that passes as an explanation in this case. Thank you for saving all of us, but it's not over yet. A boss is protecting the hangar for the shuttle. There is no way for us to defeat him without your help. Zero, please help us. Okay. I'll switch to fire for some reason, even though I have no idea what awaits me in there. Good luck, Zero. All encounters that lasers in the Mega Man Zero in the Mega Man universe are an all-the-time occasion. Soup says if it works for Ghost Trick, it works for everything. You must be Zero. You have done well to make it this far, but this is where your journey ends. I'm Lizak Stagroff, who I kinda like that name. The best warrior of Leviathan the Guardian. You won't beat me. Get ready. Ooh! Hulkamania! Good. Ah, that sucked. There we go. Here we go. That's how you do it. Yeah, we've gotten a couple of name drops that may become important soon. That right there, that's the kind of ass whooping I like to deliver in a Zero game. This is Zero. I'm returning to base with the prisoners. Damn. Roger, and don't forget to bring the ice chip. I look forward to your return, Zero. $80. Took too long, I guess. Whatever. I'm still A. Zero, thanks to you, as many as 7 Reploids have been saved. We cannot thank you enough. You know what? My experiment's going fine so far. Once we succeed in developing a substitute energy, we plan to find a place to live a happy life. That's right, Ciel's, like, main purpose in the Resistance is to, like, research a way that they can become energy independent from Neo Arcadia. So they can just go somewhere and just escape. So, she's, like, the leading researcher in the world in terms of, like, energy something, I guess. Somewhere out of the reach of our enemy Neo Arcadia, there we'd like to live in peace, free from the anxiety of hunger and a warm blanket of happiness. If that happens, you're going to come with us, aren't you, Zero? Maybe. I like ice. Again, against anything but bosses, the different elements are largely flavor. I like ice because it's blue. Zero, I created a new weapon for you. It's called, haven't named it. I'll call it Shield Boomerang. So Shield Boomerang is legit, and I'm a fan. Wait, can I not throw it yet? I forget. Nope, you can throw Shield Boomerang right out of the gate. So, hold up shield. Block bullets, reflect bullets. Throw shield. Kill shit. Good weapon. And this is the only weapon besides, like... Well, okay, hold on. Like, your other melee weapon changes over the course of this series, but the shield boomerang is always there. Hold on. No, I don't think it's in 04, is it? Yeah, no, it isn't. You lose the shield boomerang for 04. That's a shame. Okay, for the first 3 Zero games, it's there. Hello, son. How are you doing? I'm sitting on the... whatever. Or replaces most things with the knuckle. Yeah, there are alternatives to the shield boomerang in 04, situationally. Thank you, Zero. I would have been smashed into who knows what if not for your rescue. Still, I never expected I could live with CL again. Okay. She's the only one here who talks. The others are very busy walking back and forth and pretending to be busy. Again, not to get ahead of ourselves, but yeah, the Zero Knuckle in 04 is interesting in many ways. We feel reassured. Wonder if this place is safe. I mean, you saw that drill dozer, right? I read you can't. Couldn't have made it without you. So lucky to be able to work in the warehouse for the energy crystal again. Good translation. By the way, did you notice the strange room near the computer room? I mean, sales room? Yeah, I went in there. I put my mouth all over a coffee pot and stuff. I don't remember what the third upgrade for the... I don't remember what any of the upgrades for the shield boomerang are. Like, one of them's charge speed. Okay, so yeah, one's charge speed. I don't remember what the third one is. I know later in the series you get to fling it in funny directions and make it do orbits and shit, but not so much in this one. I don't know what the third upgrade was. It might be the one where it flies around like it does like an S-shaped thing before it comes back to you, but I'm not sure. I might be thinking of another game. In any case, glad to have Shield Boomerang. It's quite good. Now we can rescue Kolbor. One of our comrades, Kolbor, went trainways and went dark. Enemy activities are increasing in intensity. Kolbor's unit may have been discovered and taken hostage. Good luck, Zero. Okay. Cannot dash. Well, shield is up. Ow! Shoot me, will ya? Shoot you. Wasted. This is one of those cases where... Whoa! Nice. Bad. Ice, I think, actually is the best element, because out of all the elements whose thing is making the enemy stunned for a minute, Ice does the best job. Ah, fuck, shit, dead balls. Cock. Hey, this is a Cyber Elf. I got the speed, though. I can do speed. It's a pretty good speed. Yeah. God damn. Shit. There we go. That's what we got. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Yeah. Soup just says he said the funny word. Which one? I said a few of them. This is the one with the elf, right? Yeah. Well, now what? Ah, I knew you were gonna... Alright, let's not get Cyber Elves right now. You know what? No, we'll give it one more retry. I guess the most you can lose for retrying the mission is 15 points, so if I do everything else perfectly, I'm still looking at an 85. Alright. Cyber Elves are fluff. We can get them later. Shield Boomerang even works on that dude's missiles. And you can even start recharging it while it's on its way back to you. Alright, die. Whoa! That speed is a really good move, and I think 0-1 is the only game where you get it. Hey, one up. Ah, you ho, 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 ho. No. Alright, well, I think it comes back. Yeah. You utter ass. Alright. I think that thing comes back. Okay. Look at that dither background, look at them colors. Yeah, yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, you butt fucker, I hate them so much. See you running around now that all these dead guys are here. Run, now! Zero! Thank goodness! You must be Zero. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Harpuria, one of the 4 guardians of Master X. Such foolish behavior for a legendary hero to side with Mavericks. You shall repent and atone for your sins, Zero. Meet major character boss, whose ass I'm going to kick. Maybe. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm fine. Okay, he can just do that twice in a row. I learned something about Harpuria today. It turns out my ass was the kicked. You're definitely not doing that twice. Harpuria is male. You can't really tell, but he is. That's more like it. Incredible! I underestimated him. I will have revenge someday. Stay healthy until our next meeting when I shall retire you. Bye. Ugh, 54. What? I did way better than that. Okay. I guess 20 is too high on enemy killed count. Ugh, I'm B now. Ugh. Well, ranks actually do matter a little bit more later in the series, starting at 0-2 onwards, but for 0-1, pretty much the only thing A rank does is make the bosses do more moves, so I'm kind of okay with going down this time. Except I can't get into CLs. No, maybe I still can. Thanks to you, our comrade Colbor was rescued. Thank you so much. He sometimes makes mistakes, but he is a good Reploid at art. Please forgive him. Yeah, see, I'm locked out of CL's room. Now I can't do gross stuff in there while you're not looking. Quick check to see if anybody says anything interesting. I don't think so. Nope. She heard about the coffee pot thing, yeah. Then I didn't do so hard on that mission, so I was like, you know, suddenly I'm not so sure about this Zero guy. Soup says now he never finds CL's panties in the wall. I believe there's a clip of that. Thank you very much. I can work here thanks to you. You're welcome, Colbor. Yeah, I remember doing that in Cave Story, and then I was just like, you know, I rehearsed this way too well. Like, I had no fumbling around in the dark. I knew exactly where to go to grab them banners. That does not bode well for me at all. speed elf. I can be your sub-tank. Transform! Now a neater looking elf. So, in the event that I should decide I do need a sub-tank, I now have an elf. What can do that? As a matter of fact, I will now equip the elf. Are there any other elves I should consider grabbing? Not really. I'll make foes into metals, metars, nets. God, that was a thing. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody else I need to worry too much about. Maybe Morik, who is like a one-time use sub-tank who then dies. It's not do that. I actually don't know how the pit cyber elves work. Like, I don't know if you have to activate them or if... Oop. Look, Harpooya, don't go all fat and sassy just because I bombed your mission just because it's full of bottomless pits and stuff that hits you and knocks you into the bottomless pits. That's cheating. Protect factory. Thanks to you, we've gained control of the factory, but I don't think we can hold it forever. Can you go check on the factory for me? Okay. This is strange. Our watches are missing. Oh yeah, I forgot you can come to the factory and get like a whole bunch of energy crystals. Suddenly! You've been doing well. My name is Phantom, one of the 4 guardians of Master X. Every generation has its legend. However, a lost legend should remain lost. Allow me to show you why. There are 4 of these guys. We have not heard of Phantom. Everybody else has been name-dropped. Phantom just came out of nowhere. I want the triple rod for this. Phantom is a little edgelordy, but he does a couple of interesting things, actually. Showing off in cases like that, you can see how the saber gameplay of the Zero series games particularly appeals to me. Ooh! Out-sabered. This can't be true. Still, I have more surprises for you. The bombs I set all over the factory will explode any minute now. And when they do, this factory will be smashed into nothing. Your legend will end not with a whimper, but with a bang. Time to go save the factory. There's no time before the bombs explode. Evacuate the place now! Screw you. Oh yeah, the dogs. Fart. Dick. Damn it. So I think I do want to use the front door this time. Will you deactivate the bombs? Okay. I'll help you. There are 8 readings of the bombs. Please don't feel that you have to do this. Phantom is so weird and different that his fight was at the start of the mission. Alright, so I could have used that top door. Ow. I don't think it matters. Slash a bomb with your saber and then touch it to deactivate and retrieve it. Just be very careful. That's how you disarm bombs. Hit them with your lightsaber. Good to go. So there's... This time I do have to get up all up into the ship. Took that hit really badly. Yeah, that sequence extra sucks in this mission. Like, it already pretty sucks, now it all the way sucks. I don't really think either method of entry is actually faster. I like cutting them in half because then the top half flies away. Oh. Be one up. My brother and I used to say, free dude, dude. Triple rod also works for grabbing him. Ow. Ooh. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do something a little different. One of the only very few cases where I would ever de-equip the saber of my primary weapon. Ow. And I immediately regret it. Okay. Ah! Safe. Fuck! Give me the goddamn saber back. God, shit. Ugh. Come on. Okay. No. Okay. Feel like I'm doing really well on time, actually. I believe that's all I have to do here. Ugh. Okay. That part's just plain never fun. Just the one more, and I know right where it is. Oh. That's satisfying to do. Screw you. Oh, okay. Not where I thought that was. There it is. All the bombs are deactivated and Zero is fine. Thanks goodness. Thanks goodness. I look forward to your safe return, Zero. Phew. Okay, we can exhale now. 67, come on. Jeez, you fall down a bottomless hit and explode once. Bottomless hit. Stream rate. Goddamn. It's fine. Zero, I'm sorry that we're always risking your life. How long do we have to live like this anyway? The factory wasn't enemies. Phantom put bombs all over it. And he was going to blow up all of our energy. I'm sorry, I'm kind of depressed. I'll do my best to develop a substitute energy. If we can obtain a substitute energy, we can live happily in a quiet place. Until that happens, I hope to have your continued support, Zero. The factory is just very unsafe to jump around in, I guess. As most factories are. If it was your factory, why would the dudes rude? They were phantom dudes, I guess? Dandy's not saying anything about my nickname. Usually he has some comment on it. I don't know what his beef is. Yep, let's just blame Phantom for everything that happened in there. Including falling down into the hole. God damn it, Phantom. Those wily ass ninjas. Yeah, nobody else here has anything interesting to say. You're Colbor, you suck, nobody likes you. And yet, still, I check. Because I'm Zero and I care, damn it. Yeah. I'm just humoring him. I'm like, they're really, really sort of, oh, that's neat, cool. Tell me more about how to use my weapons. Oh, wow. What do you know? Now I've heard everything. They deceive. I mean, that's flagrantly untrue. The original Mega Man had hair, we knew that. He got to see him without his helmet in the second game, and he's like the only Mega Man who ever took his helmet off. Duel in the desert. We've got a report that enemies are assembling in the desert area. They haven't started their attack yet, but a large-scale assault can be expected. Even though our comrades built barricades and are both taking precautions against their attack, I'm still worried. Ciel is human. If you don't mind, will you go and help them? Will you accept? Yes. We have a problem, Zero. They are coming at us in large numbers. Come to think of it, Ciel is like the first human we've seen in this series in a long time. I guess the last one we saw before Ciel was Dr. Kane. We only saw him a few times. We'll hold the final defense line at any cost. You should destroy their main vein. Rampage time. Their main troops are approaching. Zero, please take care of them. Come get me if you can. Ugh. That's not what I meant to do, Zero. Killing me, man. Fucking camels. Hey, I got the camel elf. Can I make it this time? No, the stuff isn't even there. I don't really care that much about 100%ing this game at this time, as I'm sure you understand. Berserker! I've definitely gotten through that cleaner. The transport chopper is rapidly approaching. Stay alert, Zero. Yeah, look at that scaling. I've heard there's a highly skilled Reploid in Resistance, but I never expected you to be this good. You are amazing, and that's what excites me the most. Excite me the most. Good read, Zeor. Yeah. My name is Fafnir, one of the 4 Guardians of Master X. Now don't let me down, kid. Yo! He hates lightning, I think? Yeah. Tama just goes TMI, man. Zero, I am turgid with excitement. Man, that you don't even really need anything else. That saber charge attack is just too damn good. Ugh. I've never been so excited. I'll let you live for a little longer. Make sure you do not lose before I fight you again. Farewell. How come these guys get to transport themselves and I have to use your stinky telepad? Speedster. Killed the shit out of that invasion. Because you're outdated, says Ollie. Brutal. Thank you, Zero. If our defense line was broken, this base wouldn't last long. Still, I can't believe you wiped out such a large number of enemies. You are truly a legendary hero. Yeah. We're just kind of blasting right through this game, just having a good old time of it. There is enough hidden content, cyber elves, and all that shit that there is a lot of stuff to do if you're a big completionist guy who want to get all the stuff out of the game, but... yeah, whatever. If by Mega Man you mean like Mega Man X, we've been hearing about him. He's apparently in charge of Neo Arcadia and the guy trying to stamp out all Reploids. Because he seemingly has gone mad with power or some such. We don't really know what's going on with X. Just that Zero seems to be having a hard time believing what he's heard. I think we're done here. I like your resistance, guys, but you've stopped saying anything interesting. Stop the hacking! Stop the downloading! The main server of the Resistance base has recently become the target of several malicious hack jobs. We know that the hackers are hidden in a base located beneath the desert. I wonder if I will find it. If we don't do something about it soon, we will have many problems with the generation project of the new energy. We will have many problems with the generation project of the new energy. Okay. Zero, will you sneak into their hidden base and destroy their main computer? Do you remember where the entrance is? Good luck, Zero. I don't really remember which one Stop the Downloading was from. I mostly remember pork chop sandwiches. Ollie says, I'm a computer. That's amazing. How long have you been a computer? Soup says, you'd think they'd move their secret base after you found it once. You could say the same with the Resistance. Wait a second. I'll unlock it for you. It's open. Be careful, Zero. That is the Stop the Download one? That can't be right. I don't think that's the right... No. Oh, right, Ollie was quoted. Gotcha. I thought you meant pork chop sandwiches was the Stop the Download one. I'm like, no, can't be. Ooh. See, I have a perfectly good buster I could be using for this, but why would I when I have throwing shield boomerang disc? This isn't ice anymore. The pork chop sandwiches is still fucking funny. Fuck, roll tag, get the fuck out! Get the fuck out of here, you stupid idiot! Oh yeah, there's an interesting little fan service Easter egg here. Which we'll get to see, maybe. Don't get squished by boat. Very embarrassing. Damn it. Butthole. Secret. Whoa! Ah, shield doesn't work against giant missile. So there it is. Apparently these are Repliforce submarines. We don't really know much about the Repliforce, who they are, or why they would still exist in any capacity in this time period, but... Fuck! Oh, for the chain rod. Damn it! You know what, forget it. Attack missiles with weapon. Oop says the G.I. Joe meme is almost as old as this game. I'm pretty new to that one. That one only came to my attention, I won't say recently, but relatively recently. I'll open the door. Stay put, Zero. It's open. Stay okay, Zero. Find the computer room and destroy all of the machines. Good luck. I am damage. I would rather not be damage. I think you can get health pickups in here somewhere. Ow. I guess the security guys got downgraded to just regular guys. Ow. Except for him, who's now here full time. Ugh. I like this game's soundtrack. It's a little low-key compared to some other Mega Man games, but each track does its job really well. Yes. Their main computer is supposedly in this room. All I could do with our computer is unlock this door. How's that? Is it unlocked? Break your shit. You destroyed a computer. Their hacking attempt has been weakened, and then I couldn't get the pickup because CL was yapping. Oh yeah, all the Mega Man Zero games got like remastered versions as well, and they're all worth checking out. Their attacking attempt has ceased completely. Thank you, Zero. I'm waiting for you to get back to the base. Dick. Dick. There you go. Yep, you just go in there and you break everything with your Z-Saber. That's how you stop hacking. Be careful, Zero. I've got a massive energy reading. The enemy is near. My name is Leviathan, one of the 4 Guardians of Master X. After hearing so much about you from that pretty kid and the combat nerd, I have been looking forward to seeing you. I can't wait to see their faces when they find out it was I who retired you. Now don't hold back just because I'm a woman. Oh, you had to go there, didn't you? Yeah, she really roasted him. Ow. Hates fire. Because that's what you use against things that are underwater. Safe. Yep. Why didn't you terminate me? Are you showing me mercy? How rude. I told you not to hold anything back. Next time we meet, you'd better give me your best. Farewell. Bye. Good work, Zero. So, incidentally, Mega Man 9 did have Splash Woman. And, oh, what the hell was the guy's name? Is it just Arrow Man, or was that... I don't remember, Windman? Some air-themed guys who pretty closely resembled Leviathan and Harpooia. And, in fact, Mega Man 9 was made by Intercreates, so... Slayer! Attempts to hack into our base have ceased, thanks to you. I'll do my best to achieve a mission to develop a substitute energy. The future of all Reploids depends on us. Oh, he says, imagine being the person grading Zero for all these missions. Yeah, you tell Zero he fell into the hole too much. We got a problem. Enemy troops are attacking our base. We can't hold out much longer. Gasp. The main gate will be destroyed any minute now. Begin the evacuation immediately. Remember that the elderly and the children take priority. Okay, we have 1 elderly and 1 children. You should also evacuate, Zero. What? Thank you for having helped us so much. CL, hurry and head for your evacuation transport. It's okay, this is my fault. Your fault. The world has become out of control. It's all because of Neo Arcadia. Extreme justice where peace is maintained by force. Reploids were sacrificed for the happiness of humans. It was I who created Neo Arcadia. It was I who regenerated X. It was I. What? What do you mean regenerated? You resurrected X like you resurrected me? No, it's different. You are an original, meaning you are exactly like what you used to be, citation needed. But X is... Crash! You should go now. Help everyone evacuate. Save data first? Okay. Data saved. Zero, can you hear me? The engine room has fallen to the enemy. Since we can't activate the elevator, the Reploids on the upper levels can't head for the evacuation transport. Get rid of the enemies in the engine room. Speed. I don't have the other speed, do I? No. Damn. Ollie says, I know that's hair, but it looks like that soldier got decapitated. Yeah, I think I remember thinking that at some point. Thank you, Zero. I'll turn on the elevator. Okay, we're done. Zero, can you hear me? The enemy commander is occupying the warehouse where the energy crystals are stored. If we lose the energy crystals, we are done for. Head for the warehouse and get back the energy crystals. I believe I need electric for this. Yeah, have you noticed that those foot soldier guys kind of look like someone? I hate these guys. Getting free hits. Somebody drop health. Because this dude, I think I remember being kind of a turd. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just gonna grind for some health. I'll be right with you. Just hang on, just hang on, hang on. Just hang on. Just hang on. Ow! You can block that? Alright. Why would I mess around with landed home up? Ah! Jeez, I'm gonna lose to these guys. There we go. You motherfucker. These are bad dudes to try to grind health from. Oh, there's Alouette's little bunny dude. Forgot about him. Whatever, that'll do. Well, 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 I've heard a lot about you. You must be Zero, the legendary Reploid. Or should I say, the old and out-of-date Reploid. Damn, he just put me on blast. Destroyed before the fight even began. My name is Hanu Machine. I'm the #1 apprentice of Phantom, the Guardian. I'll retire you for the glory of the stealth unit. On guard! I don't really remember how to fight this dude. Or do I? Maybe not. Ugh. This could go badly. Oh, fuck off. What? What? Okay, that's more like it. Yeah, can we get on with... I mean, my score is kind of already going to the toilet here. Yeah, man. Oh, no, none of that. Alright. Damn it. Die. Okay. 2 tries isn't too bad. And all that frustration goes away when you chomp the dude in half. 75 isn't terrible. I'll take it. We've been saved again, thanks to you. Still, as long as X exists, maybe someday. So you'll only be happy if X does not exist. I'll take care of that. Just tell me where he is. You can go directly to the core of the enemy base with the trans server. Unfortunately, we haven't cracked the security system of their trans server yet. Without the trans server, you won't be able to reach your destination easily. And if you are away from the base for such a long time, I don't know what might happen to us. Eh? I've cracked the security system of the trans server. I'm sorry that it took so long. But now you can enter Neo Arcadia whenever you want. You're the one who gave the Z-Saber to me. Now go. Terminate that copy of me. Terminate with extreme prejudice. Wait, who are you? Can't be. No, it's not possible. Did he say I can now use the trans server? Yes, he did. I'm going now. Take care. Let's see, do I want to do this now? I think I do. I don't know, man. 16 minutes to do the whole Mega Man Zero endgame. Fuck it. Let's go with it. Zero, head for the trans server. You can trust us to protect this place. Good luck, Zero. I can go around and talk to the dudes at least. I don't know, we'll see. Zero, you alright? I wonder what we should do. Yeah, everybody's finally gonna have new dialogue now that the base got attacked. Alouette's fine. Zero, I was scared. Ciela wasn't injured, was she? What's going to happen to our base next? I don't want to be deported back to Neo Arcadia. You won't be. Miss Ciela was fine, right? Oh, thank goodness. At Neo Arcadia, I'll never forgive them. Zero, please avenge our fallen friends. Okay. I kind of like that the dude's arm is in a sling, too. Like I said, like, Reploids and humans are becoming so alike now that Reploids even just heal the same way humans do. Never imagined the base would be attacked. I'm very sorry I allowed them inside. Saved us again, Zero, thank you. You can pay me in energy crystals. And respect. And money. Oh. Hello, son, are you alright? If I were a little younger, I would kick their butts, or toes. I envy young Reploids. I wish I were a few years younger. You could maybe be modified back? I don't know. Is everyone alright? I was lucky it was just a scratch. You should be careful, Zero. Very grateful. Yeah, I don't know. I might save the end game for next time. Because I'm definitely going to run longer than 15 minutes. I was so afraid. Is Ciel fine? How about the others? Wonder what will happen to us. Zero, we won't lose to Neo Arcadia, will we? Of course not. Because Katoosh! Speed right through Neo Arcadia. Cut all dudes. Yeah, part of me kind of wants to go ahead, but maybe I'll wrap this stream up just a little early and we'll take on 01's endgame next time and just seek straight into 02. That's a thing we can do. Thank goodness. Zero, you alright? Thought I was doomed. Thank you for saving us, Zero. I'm fine, thank you. Could have been worse. Is everyone okay? You don't need to worry about me in my laboratory anymore. You should go check CO. Everybody here just likes her so damn much. We are in big trouble. I told him it's reckless to fight by ourselves. Not my fault. Ah, what should I do? Bah! Only me! Only I exist! Bah! Can't believe Neo Arcadia's attack has reached our base. It could have been worse. Thank you, Zero. I'll protect our base. Sure you will, buddy. Sure you will. Here comes Daisy. Where are you? Come up on that. Say hi. Not sure if I've ever gotten Daisy to meow into this microphone. She doesn't seem to want to. And or the mic won't pick it up. Microphone's like, this cat meow is obviously not desirable sound. Away with you! Did I already save? Well, now I saved twice. Okay, right. You just use the transfer to go there. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up for now. Sort of a shame to, to lose all this momentum that I have, but... Yeah, I don't want to overstay my welcome too much. We have a lot of Mega Man Zero to get through, so... No need to rush it. You dig? Cool. Well, I'm really glad to be playing this again. I'm having a lot of fun. And I'm glad other people are somewhat into it as well. I gotta say, yeah, the Legacy Collection seems to be working fine. So I can recommend that. And, there you go. That's all I got for you. We'll finish Mega Man Zero next time and start on Zero 2, which has a fun weapon and some pretty neat enemy designs, as I recall. I think I remember the, well, they're not Mavericks. I'm not even sure. Kind of in the Zero series, we're the Mavericks. The bosses look neat, that's what I'm trying to say. Alright. Thanks for watching my dumb, rambling Mega Man Zero stream. I'll keep this going on Thursdays, probably. Wednesday next week, again, probably we'll go ahead and finally finish the good ending of Blaster Master Zero 2. And then maybe seek into something else. Soup says, and then Zeor was the Maverick. I mean, yeah, pretty much, like, from Neo Arcadia's perspective, we're the Reploid Resistance, we're the Mavericks. We're the ones fighting against a peaceful human civilization. And that... Zero is unbothered by that. Spoilers, like, he's fine with that identity, he doesn't care. He's doing whatever he thinks is right. Damn it. Alright. Thanks for watching, folks. Smart Picky Smart Day tomorrow. End game for that as well. And I may have to have a second thing lined up in case we take fewer than 3 hours to finish the end game. I don't know. I'll just talk in circles for hours. I'm just gonna sit here and just say thanks for watching, good night, like, over and over again for like 3 more hours. Okay, no, I'm just gonna stop the stream. Bye.